Hello, welcome to Daily Smith Summit News. This is a new channel where we talk about when Smith Summit will happen. We've had all the booth vendors now. However, I have one special guest just for you guys. They have been so proactive in actually making Summit come to life. One of the biggest contributors to Summit 26 and what you guys will see. Welcome, Kyrius.
Hello, hello, hello. It's really fun to be here. I've been watching the DSSN channel for a long time now. I think one of the longest running viewers. Who knows?
Yeah, you're one of the first ones to discover it. But yeah, so welcome to the channel. Would you like to introduce yourself and what you do to the community?
Yeah, hello. So I'm Kyrius. I'm one of the art leads for the Summit project. So I've been involved in building the world we're in. I've been involved in coordinating a bunch of booth vendors, doing a bunch of resource pack stuff, and all kinds of things. I come from a pixel art background and doing commissions and stuff all over the place. And Summit really is my home project. I absolutely love Summit. It's such a beautiful place where people come together. And so I've been spending the last year or so assembling this event, which will be opening very, very soon, which is so exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely very excited too for Summit's release. I'm glad to see that you are very excited for this project, which I know you've been working on for so long now. Actually, would you like to tell the audience how long you've been working on like mapping and creating Summit 26? Yeah, just yeah.
I mean, ever since last summit ended in 2024, our ideas have been spinning around in our heads. Like, I remember after the last summit, we had a whole meeting right after the closing ceremony that we were not supposed to be talking about what we're doing next summit, but we just couldn't stop ourselves. All we could talk about was, oh, we're going to do this next summit, and we're going to do that next summit, and it's next summit, next summit, next summit. But over the time, we sort of calmed down a bit. But in August of 2025, so exactly about a year ago now, we started our first planning of the planning of the plan for our plan in the planning of the plan of the plan for the Smith Summit of 2026. Something like that. But we basically had a meeting where we planned out how we would plan our planning of the Smith Summit. It was absolutely silly. But that's where it started. I think we sort of started talking about the scale of next summit. We started talking about how many people we wanted to get involved, and there was a big discussion with all kinds of people, and we assembled the team structure. And I think then we had our big opportunity for the big brainstorming, where the 3-region island came into existence.
Yeah, I mean, that is super cool to hear. I know that with me for Smith Summit, I joined in a lot later to this project. So I missed all of the planning, like you said here. A lot of the groundwork and actually most of the biomes ideas have already been almost finalized when I joined. Yeah, I still was able to contribute a lot to making of some biomes. But what was it like actually designing these biomes and just like having the ideas for them, because these are completely different to vanilla. There's nothing in the game currently that is like these biomes.
You say that, and then we got the dappled forest.
That's putting currently.
Yeah, but no, I think it's really fun, and actually, because last summit we had a lot of fun experiences putting together all the biomes we got. But they didn't really have a lot of cohesion. They were a bunch of different biomes with different themes all over the place. Half the island was kind of forest, and the other half was a bit hotter in climate. But we came up with the idea very early on that we would have this sort of 3 regions with different themes. And I think it was very clear early on that we would have a hot one and a cold one. Wasn't really sure what we would do with the last, but I think we came up with this sort of flowery, colorful, plains-like aesthetic pretty early. And I think, like, not too long after, my vision was very clearly set. I take pride in my ability to sort of see in my mind exactly how things will turn out, how the whole world will look in advance. So before we start building something, I know exactly how it's all going to look when it's done. And I really had that vision for the Summit Island very early, like the mountain splitting it into 3 with this sort of star-shaped pattern, having the sort of circular island profile from above, and and all of the connections and hills and everything. And a lot of the biomes are inspired by real life locations and stuff I've been to as well. So it's really easy to sort of connect the sight lines and the locations together. It's really exciting. I absolutely love level design in this way.
Yeah, I mean that's very cool to hear. I know that, like I mentioned previously, I joined in lot late in the project. Actually, it would have been somewhere around December-ish or like beginning of this year. I imagine. I actually don't remember exactly.
I think
But
something like that.
yeah, all I remember, and I actually don't really remember how I got my foot in the door. But if I were to guess, there is one elephant in the room that probably got me on a lot of the team's radars, being this, really. I remember going back up in the chats after I got added to the team and actually seeing the conversations that you guys had and when you found this channel. So I should just ask, what was that like?
It's absolutely an honor to have our own very own daily news channel, right? It was like, what the hell is this? This is not gonna like survive for like more than 20 days, is it? Right? Like when it was just beginning, this was like, this is just a funny like joke, right? No, it's still going on. It's still going on. So
Yeah.
props to you, Lush, for that. But I think like in the beginning, we were sort of looking at it as this funny joke thing of like a really dedicated Summit fan. Um, but then it just kept going, and then we were like inching towards when we wanted to like actually tease Summit for the first time back in December when we did the Smith Direct, and we just knew that we have a very dedicated person who's really good at media, so maybe we should actually loop them in. But we had the discussion back then and about Hermitcraft recap. They had a similar thing where they joined the Hermitcraft team and they became one of the team, and then the Hermitcraft recap sort of lost its charm in a way. So they're like, oh no, what if we lose this cool DSSN project and it's all its charm? But no, I think having Lush on the team has only made things better. I think having Lush being able to help us advertise and talk about everything we're doing and sort of be our media person has been amazing, and it's really been awesome to work with you, Lush.
Yeah, thank you. I know it's a bit less related to to Smith Summit, but I remember one of my first tasks was more so media, where I was actually editing and helping like plan out a lot of the stuff for the Smith Direct itself. That's where I was added to a lot of the different servers, spoke to a lot of you guys like properly for the first time. Really, the only interaction I had with sort of the back end staff of Smith was Jack Crow in the fireside chat, really, in Smith Summit 2024, so a while ago. But it's been very pleasant actually getting to know you guys. And then after the direct wrapping up, being invited to work on Smith Summit itself, where I begin to like start actually on smaller projects and pick stuff up, and then overall now working on what my favorite part is personally that I've worked on, being the Light Forest, not the Light Forest,
The Light Quarry.
Yeah, the Light Quarry, yeah, which I've really enjoyed doing it, and I know personally that I just have so much like passion and pride for it, because I've even spoken with the people that are there this summit, being Animated Java, Vanilla Rise Studios, Custom Entity API, and Smashing. So I just wonder, for someone who's made even more biomes, even the sister biome being the Dark Quarry, and even more of that, how does it feel to like see people like choose these biomes and then populate them with their packs over the past couple months?
It's so cool. It's so cool. Like the Summit Island is really cool of a build on its own, right? Like, but it feels empty. It's not what Summit is, right? Summit isn't just a big build. It is the whole community. It's the whole like vividness of everything going on everywhere all at once. And now, as you say, like as you've experienced with the Light Quarry, seeing everything come together, seeing all the collaborations happen, and seeing everyone sort of take their space, it's like come into the world. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it requires a bit of an eye to design spaces that are inhabitable by people in this way, but you can never really foresee how things will turn out when people are actually coming in and making it their own. And I think that's beautiful, and I absolutely love it. I think some of my favorite areas of the summits are definitely the sort of city areas where booths are really forced to sit close to each other, almost wall to wall sometimes, because you get this really nice aesthetics of collaborative spaces where the builds sort of merge into one another. And I think you have that as well in the Light Quarry, where you have the roller coaster going through the animated Java booth, and it's such
Yeah.
an amazing thing to see, like your own build and these two booths or more booths sort of all merging into one, and all of these good ideas becoming sort of a like conglomeration of different perspectives becoming one.
Yeah, I mean, talk a little bit more about the booth vendors. I know that you're a very talented back end person for Smift itself, making a lot of the art, planning, models, and all that. However, I would be missed to not mention that you're actually involved in a couple of projects that are being shown on Summit this year. Would you like to talk about a couple of them or any of them?
Oh yeah, I mean, namely Game Mode 4 for sure, and Serena Studio. Both of them are map making teams. I'm a
Mm.
map maker, and I upload maps to the Realms program, and both through Game Mode 4 and Serena Studio. Through Game Mode 4, I've made the map Evergrowth, and Serena Studio, I've made the map From the Shelves, like a holiday minigame. Both of them have been really cool experiences, especially Evergrowth. So I really encourage you guys to come and explore it. There's a whole showcase of it in the Game Mode 4 booth. No, but yeah, I and the Smith booth, of course, and all the like regional booths. I've done a lot of stuff for Summit. No, but yeah, Game Mode 4 is really my home community. It's where I've sort of come from, where I became myself in the Minecraft world. And everyone should check it out when Summit begins.
Yeah, I know that we went sort of a bit back into the past about the end of Summit 2024 and then Summit 26 starting, but I want to go even just a little bit further back than that and talk about personal experience with me, which actually involves you, which was very interesting. But talking about Evergrowth, Pingu was playing it one day, almost sort of not too close, but after it released. And I remember being able to join them for it because I was able to do that. And we got to the final puzzle actually, and we were quite stumped. So, in the infinite wisdom, we thought if we saw on speed on it or just search up someone doing it fast, we'd actually be able to see someone complete it and not take forever. So doing that without really realizing it until after meeting you and actually working with you for a bit, the first interaction I've had with you was watching your video speedrunning Evergo for the first time, completing the final puzzle, which I think is like really cool to hear. And then I met Smith through Monaco, one of my close friends who has a project this time around and last time being Roadcraft. And then that's sort of how our paths now converged after I made DSSN and then got on the team itself. Would you just like to talk about how you got to know all these people and like actually meet someone on the team for the first time, actually get involved as much as you have?
Oh, a fun story. I think when Smith Summit 24 was just starting in sort of development or ideas, the word was sort of going around in the Smith adjacent communities. And at Game Mode 4, we have weekly meetings. And so we sort of hear the little trickles of information from the Smith internal teams. And at that time, I wasn't really involved in Smith at all. I didn't, like, to be all honest, I didn't really care for Smith. I was like map making brain, no data pack, like focus in my head. Just resource pack and building. But then we heard the news of like there's some talking about is in-game convention, and I thought, oh, that just sounds so cool. I want to learn all about this. So at the next Smith meeting that happened back then, I joined. I was listening in a bit to see what's happening, and there was like, yeah, maybe we should do an in-game convention. Maybe it's on the top of a mountain. We can call it the Smith Summit. It's like the summit of a mountain, and it's like a summit convention. That's fun. So maybe it's up in the clouds or something. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I need to join this. I need to talk about this. I have so many ideas. And then not long after, I was in charge of the whole building project because it was just sort of me, RX, Nexus, and Jackro back then working on that. So yeah, I mean, it's just I suppose I came in early, and just sort of took things from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I know that this time Summit rounds, we actually have so many people. We have an entire quite giant cave that was made almost just today for the
Mhm.
credits of all these people, which I think is really cool to see. And with that, mentioning how many people work at Summit, is it, and even outside of Summit, just in general, is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to? Any project, any person, anything?
I mean, Fifi. I gotta highlight Fifi.
Yeah.
I Fifi and I met during the development of last summit, and we didn't really know each other. We didn't really know what we were capable of or how to sort of collaborate with each other properly. And Fifi joined in sort of like towards the other second half of the Summit 24's last development. But in this summit, Fifi's been around from the start, and I started off as the art lead for the summit project. But over time, had been such an amazing contributor to the project, being able to have a lot of availability and insight and a lot of feedback on a lot of things, and being able to help and always there to help. And so later on, Fifi became the co-lead of the art team, and now Fifi and I like organize things together. They're really a rock when it comes to the summit project, and I really look up to their dedication. I think I'm also on the side of like craziness of my dedication to summit sometimes, but Fifi is on another level. Fifi can sit there for like 16 hours doing summit straight and not giving up. No, I absolutely love the help we've been getting from Fifi in the team, and I don't think we could have done it without them.
Well, that is definitely really cool to hear. And I just want to say thank you for coming to this interview. I think we talked even just a lot about everything, about the past, a little bit about you, about Summit, everything in general. So make sure that any links provided will be put in the description. So if you'd like to check out Kyrius and stuff that they're involved in, make sure to check out the description below. And yeah, as a final message, is there anything that you'd like to say to the audience? Anything at all?
Smith Summit. No, you gotta go to Smith Summit. Obviously, I don't think I have much more to say. Smith Summit, you gotta come. I'm showing off a lot of cool things, like a map. It's up and coming in Game Mode 4 called the Masquerade. Lucius played it in playtesting. It's really fun. It's gonna be a whole event about playing it as well. But you gotta come to Smith Summit. Woo! I don't think I'm thinking about much more than just Smith Summit at the moment. So I don't have anything else to answer.
Yeah, so I can definitely get behind that sentiment though. And yeah, thanks for showing up today's interview. I appreciate it. There has been news on Smith Summit. This is all for today, and I'll speak with you all tomorrow.